Everybody to the Right or Die Show. I am your host, Randi-lee. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking to Mario Quinones-Revolori. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, actually, I'm a writer, an author, and an actor, a screenwriter, and a songwriter, and I'm the father of Tony-Revolori, actor Tony-Revolori, and what else can I say? I love to write. I love creative writing. I do it all the time. It's like food for me in my mouth because I love it. I love it so much. I write in my dreams, during the day and night, almost all the time.
Nice. And why is it so important that you are the father of Tony?
Well, it's important because I scouted him. I was his mentor, his publicist, his talent agent at the beginning, and I supported him all the way that he made it into the business. And so I'm proud because I made it happen for him.
Oh, I didn't know that part of the story. Very cool.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your story, because we all know that people on this show always have some kind of mental health struggle. So I don't know where you want to start your story, because I know you've got a very kind of crazy story. I don't know any other way to put it from what I read. So you decide where you want to start with that and share.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, my problem started in 2011, I believe it was, that my son's Tony mom separated me and we divorced, and she and my mom didn't want me to marry again, and they were against me. I did it anyways, and they got jealous and mad at me. So mad that I did it, and eventually my ex-wife threatened me, and she and my own brother, plotted together. In 2018, they hired a hitman, a professional hitman, who gaslighted me for 5 months and threatened me to kill me. Finally, he did what he was telling me, and he poisoned me in my own home.
Yeah. So how did they try to poison you? I'm kind of curious how they got that in.
My relatives hired him. So they provided all the things, and he sold the cameras in my apartment, in my car, my TV, my phone. He was tracked until the FBI found out, because I reported it to the FBI. Because he went and he impersonated a friend of mine, a famous friend of mine that I had. So when he went, and I used to write and to talk to my friend who was a producer in a casting director in Hollywood, he started to tell me crazy things, and I thought it was my friend. And I found out that when I was in the hospital for 17 days in a coma, that I found out that he himself told me that he had done it. He had impersonated my friend to get to me.
Yeah. So what did he use to poison you?
Dart frog venom. I don't know if you know about dart frog.
Oh, okay. Yep. I've seen them in so where I live, there's a bird kingdom, and they have some other animals, not just birds. And the one is poison dart frogs. They're just little tiny things, eh?
Yeah.
Right? Am I thinking?
Yeah.
So, okay. So he used the poison dart frog venom, but how did he get it into you?
It's a beautiful story. Okay, I got married a second time with this beautiful lady, and she had a daughter, 5 years old. So when I married her, and then she was so beautiful, and she loved me, and I did everything for her, and I was about to sign a $3 million contract in singing with Hollywood records. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. And then when my relatives found out that's when the trouble started. And to make the long story short on that part, the day that he was threatening, I was passing to my present wife at that time, that he was threatening me and sending me death threats. And I thought it was a joke, and he will never believe that it was going to happen the way he was saying it.
Yeah.
Now, on the 17th of December 2016, I went out to cut leaves to make a tea. And I was coming back, and I came back, and my wife, my present wife, was mad at me, and I didn't know why. And then she says, take me to do the laundry immediately because I don't have time to waste. And I said, just let me finish my tea. So I boiled my tea. And she got mad. And my daughter told me, let's go, Daddy, just leave your tea cooling down, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. We went 3 blocks to the laundry mat, and we came back about 10 minutes later. When I came back, I found out that the teapot had scales and skin and oil like fishy things inside, but didn't smell anything. So I told my daughter when I lifted the lid up, and I saw it, and I said, and she advised me and said, "Don't drink it, Daddy. That's awful." And I still told her, "Look at what it fell into the tea." And then she said, "How can it fall by itself if it is covered?" And I didn't realize, so I kind of like strained it with my hands and removed the whole thing, like the foam and everything from the tea bottle. I mean, whatever, a pot. I mean, and then I poured a cup, and they were watching me on cameras, secret cameras they had installed in my apartment. I didn't even know about this, and I didn't know that it was my relatives that had hired him until the 10th day while I was in the hospital in coma, in a coma, that I found out by their own lips that they have been doing it. And so my wife, and I think my present wife, was into the plot too, because she didn't let me drink the tea. And she forced me to go out, and while I took her, they came in and put the stuff in the pot.
Wow.
That's how it happened. I drank it and I collapsed.
I was hoping that the present wife wasn't in on it.
Yeah, I didn't know, and I didn't believe it. But when I came out of the hospital, she dumped me on the street and left me too.
Oh my
to die on the street. That's why I really think that she was in cahoots with them too. Mm-hmm.
It sounds almost, and it's not that I don't believe you, but it sounds almost too crazy to believe. Like it sounds like a movie plot.
I don't. Look, to be honest with you, I don't believe myself. I think I'm going crazy.
Well, good. Then I'm not the
but
only
it
one.
happened.
Wow.
But it happened. In the book, I have pictures of everything. So so that's why the book is going to be believable.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you in the coma for?
17 days.
17 days. Oh my goodness, that's a long time. So when you came out of the coma, what was different about you?
I was dead. When I was out of coma, I was dying. And doctor said that I wasn't gonna live because I was paralyzed, blind, mute. I couldn't move. I couldn't stay in one position. I was like a piece of paper. You put me in, and I was dead for about 7 months. And they released me from the hospital. And the social worker was arguing with the doctors that was not human to let me go in those conditions. But the hospital says that his insurance doesn't cover anything, so he's out of the hospital.
Oh my goodness, yeah, because you're in the States.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was sad. the doctor's report said that I was faking the whole thing when they gave me the diagnosis report. That when they discharge you, remember they give you the whatever you call it, a medical, whatever you call it, I forgot. And they say that's what my relatives told me too, that I was faking the whole thing, that it wasn't true, that I was going through that. It was awful. You wouldn't believe it. Like I said, if I hadn't gone through that myself, it's impossible, because it's not like I've been researching. They gave me enough venom to kill 11 people or to kill instantly an elephant.
Wow. So by the grace of God, you did not die, which is a miracle.
I did. Yeah, not only one, but millions of miracles. Because after I came out of the coma and I was at home like 2 months later dying, because I didn't remember, I didn't tell you this part, but the guy who did it is not alive, because the guy who did it got caught by the FBI, is in jail for life.
Oh, yay!
It's not
I was wondering. I was gonna ask that, but yay! I'm excited to know that.
Yeah.
Good ending then. That's good. So
yeah.
wow.
So that's why that's the proof. That's the proof that I'm not lying.
Yeah.
About
the FBI
that.
doesn't just put anybody behind bars.
Yeah. Well, and guess what? The FBI guy got involved because the killer wasn't an American, was an Indian guy that they hired and came all the way from India to kill me.
Oh my goodness. Well, I guess not that I've ever tried to hire a hitman, and nor would I, but I guess it kind of makes sense to hire outside of your country, right? Because then maybe there's less connection. I have no idea. The bottom line is you should not try to kill people.
Yeah, exactly. And whoever, okay, I'll leave it up to you. But if you put the pieces together, someone paid him because a guy on his own is not going to come and to risk his life to come to America all the way from India and pay, because he got paid big time, you know.
And I'm assuming this guy didn't even know you beforehand.
No,
exactly.
He didn't even know.
Somebody had to have hired him, or else why would, he didn't even know who you were. So what would be the point of him coming to do it? Oh my goodness. Is this what you wrote about in your book that's coming out in a couple weeks?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's so exciting. I feel like it needs to be one of those books turned movies based on true life story. It just strikes me as a movie.
Yeah, and it happens right at the entertainment industry in the heart of Hollywood. It's something crazy. I mean, everything.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about how you were mentally feeling after you came out of the coma and realized that all of this had happened. What mentally was going on?
Well, you just said it yourself, by the grace of God, because from the moment that I got poisoned to the present, I put myself in the hands of God, and I was praying 24/7 to keep up, because when I got poisoned, I got demons coming to me. People might not believe that, and that's fine with me, but I did. I was chased by demons. And I couldn't control myself, and the only way that I could resist is praying. If I stopped praying, I was dying. I was in. I mean, it's something that I don't know how to explain it, because it's beyond comprehension for any human being. I don't care if it is a scientist, if it is the wisest guy in the world. Only the power of the Holy Spirit of God, or if you believe in that or something special, can believe me. No one is in the world is going to believe me. And probably people will criticize my book if they get to read it. He's a liar. He's lying, and that's fine. But I know in my conscience, in my mind, that I went through that and I survived just because God didn't perform a miracle, but tons of miracles. And you have to read my book to understand and to see that the little thing that I'm not don't want to spoil it too much, but it's the truth. And because I don't care about money to this day, I mean, to this day, if I get money, fine. If not, but what I care is to people to know how that, because I've been telling people when someone is going to harm you, it comes from your own relatives, your own family members, and your own friends around you, your neighbors. Never comes out because this guy just came to hit me, to kill me from far away, but it was hired by my relatives, so they are the ones, and that's what I always say.
Yeah.
When you succeed, who is going to hate you the most? Family members. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know.
Oh yeah, statistically proven, you are more likely to be killed by family than by a stranger. Those are the true statistics. Because I teach a self-defense class, so I had to look them up, and it's part of what I teach to the teens, that if you feel uncomfortable just because they're a family member doesn't mean that you need to stay there if you are feeling not safe. Sometimes you don't know that it's coming at all, like in your case. But if you do feel uncomfortable, then you can take yourself out of that situation. So
yeah.
How do you cope with all of that now? Because I know for myself, if I went through all of that, I probably wouldn't trust anybody ever again. So how do you deal with that?
I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I trust people because there's good people in this world.
Yes.
If he hadn't been by the grace of God, by the power of the Lord, first of all, and then to good people that God Himself sent me to support me. I was about 2 years until a year ago that I was blind and mute and hard of hearing and all of that and dying on the street without being able to work. And because the hospital wrote down that I was faking the whole thing, I went 3 times to get support from the government, like disability, and they denied it 3 times. I went to the court, to the judge, and he says, "Sorry, son, you're dying. I can see in your body and in your speech, because my speech is improving right now. But sometimes I can, even now, sometimes I was praying that I was gonna do it good with you. That my speech came back, and listen, I'm proud of myself because I think it's going well. Because sometimes I wake up and I cannot even say a word, nor my brain, nor my mouth says a word still now. So I cope with that, like I said, only by praying. Number one. Number 2, eating healthy food. And number 3, exercising. Yes. Because I was losing my mind, and I still sometimes I go to stages that I don't want to live anymore, and I just sit and fall on my knees or lie down and say, "God, I know there is a God, and you are my God. And if you want to take me, take me. If not, just give me a breathing." Because sometimes I choke for the secondary reactions of the venom, and I think I'm gonna live the rest of my life in that situation. But I'm proud, and I love my God, and I love people. I don't care. I will never harm anybody, and that's how I cope with the problem.
That's good, because that's a horrible tragedy that you've had to experience by the people closest to you. So that's really good that you found a way to still trust other people, because that can't be an easy task to do after everything.
Oh no, it's not easy. Believe me, I cry all the time. I cry and I said, I cannot go anymore. I cannot continue. But you know what? In the material sense, in the things of this life, what it keeps me going is 2 things. If we separate from the exercise, from the praying and all that stuff, writing. I'm a songwriter, and I have like 40 songs. In fact, I have 3 songs that I'm cutting right now, and I'm using this girl that I met, an amazing singer, and I'm just waiting for her to get ready with the songs. I'm gonna cut them and try
cool.
to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I love music. I am not very musically inclined myself. When I go to karaoke, people might cover their ears. I don't know. But that's really cool that you were able to do that and that you found somebody to sing it for you.
Exactly, because I'm not a singer. I've been trying. I love singing. It's my passion. I'll die and I ask God, oh, can you give me one time to sing a song just for fun? Because I love it.
Yeah,
And
I
no,
love to sing. I
cannot carry.
just can't carry a tune, but I love to sing.
Yeah.
So how many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids. I have from the same mother. We have Mario Jr., Tony, and Benjamin.
Okay. So 3 boys.
Yeah, 3 boys. And it's funny that my little one is 11 years old. But because what happened right now, because all my relatives think that I'm dead. And I'm exposing myself with these things, but I'm doing it for the sake of the book, because I wrote the book blind and mute. I started writing the book with the help of people and dying in my head. And God told me, continue, keep on going. I'll give you 2 words today. And I started by writing 2, 3 words. And then it came like a 25 and I was dying. And I said, okay, and everything new that I did, I knew I was going to die. And I wrote it. So this book means the world to me, but not to me, but for people to see that everything is possible when you put yourself in trust the Lord and don't hate and don't and forgive, because I forgive all my relatives that were involved in this. I would call it tragedy.
Yes.
For me.
Yeah, that's such an important lesson. And I keep trying to explain to my youngest, so he's 14, he has autism. And so sometimes certain not concrete concepts are hard for him to understand at times. So we're talking about forgiveness. And I'm trying to explain to him that just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean that you're saying what they did was okay.
Exactly. You're gonna. Some people think that when you say forgiveness, you're gonna prove everything, and everything is gonna be the same. No, I won't trust my relatives anymore. I don't want to get near them. They tried to kill me, for God's sake, and people don't understand that part.
Yeah, but you're forgiving because it takes it off of you.
Yes.
Yes, that's part of the healing process is giving forgiveness. And I struggled with that for a long time. My mom's ex-husband was an alcoholic, but if I just held on to that pain from being a teenager and listening to all the yelling and the fighting, whatever, it doesn't affect him at all. He has now passed away, but at the time, it didn't affect him at all that I was angry at him, right? It doesn't affect the person you're angry at. All it does is affect yourself. So by you forgiving them, you take that anger out of you and say, you know what you did is not going to affect me anymore. I'm not going to forgive you, or I'm not going to trust you. I'm not going to say what you did was okay, but I'm forgiving you because I don't need that hatred in my heart.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's really good that you've been able to do that. Because that's not an easy thing to do, especially when somebody has harmed you in the way that they have. So you said that your family thinks that you're dead, and now you're doing these interviews, you're writing this book. So obviously they're going to know that you're not dead.
Exactly.
So how long have they thought that? So are you like in hiding, or how does that work? You just haven't connected with them?
Yes, in hiding because I was threatened after I survived. I was chased and hacked and tracked, so I had to eliminate all my Facebook accounts, all my platforms. I had to do it, and I started anew under a fake name. That's my real name, but I have my Ben Loneliness is my Facebook and things like that, and so I'm careful right now. to do things, and I live by myself. And because I mean, like a year ago, I started to work, dying on the streets and homeless until about a year ago that I got my place and I started to work as a security guard. And here's a beautiful story that happened last night to me. Remember, I told you that I'm working as a security guard.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're from California, but I'm in the area in the valley of here. I couldn't say the name because for my own protection.
Yes, of
But
course
in the
not.
valley, and I work as security guard, and it came these troublemaker kids, like the famous skaters. They are all over the place, and the place that I work, that the owner of the property doesn't allow, hates them so much, and I can't blame her because they cause all kinds of trouble and they don't listen. And I had to talk to two guys yesterday that I've been talking to, and I was advising him, one of them that let me do it, and I told him, I said, hey guy, I love you, man, and I care for you. You think I'll be telling this if I didn't love you? No, I will let you do it. And besides, it's my job, and I have to protect myself. Do you want me to get in trouble? And then he starts, and I said, listen, this and this and that. And you are the most beautiful person for listening to me. And you know what he says, crying this kid last night? He
Aww.
says, oh, I've been kicked out of many places. Crying, he says, you're the nicest security guard I ever met. Oh, wow, it
Oh,
broke my heart.
that is
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, I like that story. That is so nice. Well, I hope that things work out well for you, because with this book coming out now, like I said, you're putting yourself out there, and I really appreciate the fact that you've come on the show, because that alone shows bravery, that you are writing this book, that you're coming on the show, you're showing your face out there to the world. And that's huge. That's quite a brave thing to do when you've been in hiding for the past while now. So thank you so much for being on the show and talking about it with us.
No, thank you for giving giving me the opportunity to be in your awesome show, and I hope everything is well. And then I'll put it in the hands of God, and whatever God has in store for me, I'll be obedient to Him. And if I had to die to speak the truth, okay, I don't have any problem because I'm gonna die anyways. And then what better dying when God? Because I mean, I should be dead by now. Impossible to survive what I survived. No one has done it. People have survived plane crashes and have survived. But what I did, okay, if you read my book, you're gonna see. And people, like I said, people are not gonna believe it, and that's fine with me because I'm. Other than the human errors, to add or delete some information or irrelevant, because there's no way to write a whole book not put in extra details that don't make sense. But other than that, I'm speaking the truth on everything that you're going to be shocked.
Yeah.
What my life has been since I was 6 years old, and all the hate is because I've been a Christian.
Wow. Well, I look forward to reading that.
Yes. And one last thing. Why do you think I've been having problems with this book? Problems are the problems that doesn't allow me to publish it.
What?
It's like something that is out of this world, or unnatural, kind of like supernatural, that they don't allow me to publish the book. My editor has been trying to publish it for the last year, and it comes a problem, it comes another problem, it comes another one that we have to cancel.
What? That's crazy.
I don't know why.
That's weird. So, but it's coming now, right?
Yeah, they are uploading to Amazon and Smashwords this week.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, I definitely want to get a copy of that and read it. You have very much piqued my interest, and It sounds like
I will-
I said it before. It sounds like they got to turn it into a movie. I think I would watch that.
yeah, we're gonna do this, and I promise you, I'm gonna send a few books to you. Send me your physical address or mailing address. I mean, so I send you a few autograph books, one for you, and if you want to give it to your guests or listeners, I'll be more than
Ooh,
happy
yeah,
to do.
I would love that. I would love to do a giveaway with your book. That would be so cool.
Yeah,
I'll definitely shoot you an email after, and that would be
sure.
awesome. Thank you. All
You're welcome.
right. So thank you so much for being on the show, and I look forward to reading your book and just staying in touch with you, seeing how this all works out for you.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Wow, what a story of his life. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine having to go through that and then hide, but what a brave person for writing that story out. And now, I mean, when you write a book, you got to do promotion of that book. So getting out there in the world, he's saying, "Hey, I'm still here." So I wish him the absolute best of luck with that book and with the whole coming out to the world saying that I'm still alive. That's amazing that he is brave enough to do that. So, of course, the link down below to grab a copy of that book will be posted in the description. So, go and grab your copy, read that whole story, and support this amazing person who is very, very brave. As well, of course, hit that like and subscribe button here at the Write or Die channel. Show us some love. And remember that we do have a merch store with some really cool designs. 10% of those proceeds do go back to the Canadian Mental Health Association. And remember, the only way to end the stigma of mental health is to speak openly and honestly.